Part 19. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 212. Whoosh. In the picture, with the continuous sound of breaking wind, the 12 gods of destruction landed on the huge arena prepared by the great priest. The terrifying power continued to sweep out, and the unparalleled sense of oppression covered the starry sky and enveloped the heavens. The world has made countless strong men tremble with fear. As the saying goes, cats and mice are natural enemies. It just so happens that the god of destruction in the fourth universe is a mouse, and Beerus, as a cat, is naturally very unfriendly to him, and Beerus had lost to him in arm wrestling before, so the two were extremely jealous when they met. However, Goku shouted loudly to Beerus in the audience, "Lord Beerus, come on." Hearing this, Beerus went crazy instantly, clenched his fists and shouted angrily at Goku. Said Wukong, "Who do you think made things like this? You kid, stop making sarcastic remarks there." Suddenly, everyone in other universes knew that all the kings holding the power conference were thanks to Wukong from the 7th universe. The other 11 gods of destruction all looked at Wukong with murderous eyes, and the anger in their hearts continued to emerge. Come out. If looks could kill at this moment, I'm afraid Goku would have died thousands of times under the looks of these gods of destruction. Regarding this, all the gods of destruction in the Dragon Ball world who watched the scene couldn't help but feel ashamed. You know, they were lamenting that they were lucky enough to escape the 610 office, but now they are treating their benefactor in front of everyone in the world, although they in the future do not know this. Next, I can only hope that I won't do stupid things. Being scolded by people in all the worlds is a trivial matter. If the King of Quan is unhappy, then I'm afraid it's really over. In the picture, after learning what happened, all the gods of destruction pointed their fingers at Beerus, and asked, "Beerus, why do you always cause trouble to other universes? You know, a long time ago, King Jian summoned the gods of destruction to play hide and seek. As a result, Beerus found a place to fall asleep, and he slept for 50 years. During these 50 years, no god of destruction was able to find Beerus, which almost made the king angry and wiped out other universes. Facing the wrath of the 11 gods of destruction, Beerus could not help but look solemn and sweat dropped continuously. It's really bad now? You know, although Beerus is very powerful, his opponents are also the god of destruction. And there are 11 gods of destruction. Even Beerus may not be sure he can win under their joint attack. And once it fails, it is even very likely that it will be wiped out by the king. In this regard, many people in the world have begun to worry. As fans who support the Saiyan side and people who are attracted by Beerus' strength, they do not want Beerus to lose first. Come on, Lord Beerus. Kill them all. At this moment, countless shouts continued to be heard from all major dimensions, among which the hot-blooded male protagonists were particularly prominent. This kind of treatment of 1 against 11 is only available to male protagonists in novels, animations, TV series, etc. The treatment. Once the challenge is successful, he will become famous in the entire world. In the Dragon Ball world, Beerus' expression changed slightly, but returned to normal after a moment. Although he couldn't guarantee that he would be able to win when faced with the siege of the 11 gods of destruction, there was definitely no problem in protecting himself with his strength. Moreover, his strength is not as simple as others think. So what if there are 11 gods of destruction? I want to hit 11. On the side, Weiss also looked at it with interest. If there is anyone in the world who knows Beerus' strength best, it is undoubtedly the angel Whis. As the master of the god of destruction, he naturally knows how powerful Beerus is. If nothing goes beyond his expectations, Beerus should be able to remain the winner until the end. Let's kill Beerus first. In the picture, the 11 gods of destruction pointed their finger at Beerus, and then aimed their first target at Beerus, letting out unbridled laughter. Come on, You soft-footed shrimps who can't do anything unless they form a group, come all together and I'll kill you all in one go. In this regard, although Beerus was a little nervous, he still snorted. Take a look at the game and let it begin. With the order of the great priest, under the expectant eyes of countless powerful people from all over the world, the panoramic competition begins now. Boo-hoo-hoo. Without the slightest hesitation, all the gods of destruction rushed towards Beerus. The violent sound of breaking through the air continued to explode around them, and the terrifying speed far exceeded the speed of light. If it weren't for the picture deliberately slowing down, I am afraid that most people in the world would not be able to see these 11 a figure of a god of destruction. Calmly observing the 11 gods of destruction rushing from all directions, Beerus's eyes showed no slightest contempt. His muscles all over his body mobilized in an instant, and explosive power continued to fill his body. His entire body was like a heated car, it can rush out instantly at any time. Boom! He turned sideways to avoid the attack of a fishman god of destruction. Beerus moved his steps and once again avoided the siege of several other gods of destruction. The figure fell to the side. Phew! The god of destruction from Universe 11 took the opportunity to launch a sweeping kick. The terrifying power tore through the atmosphere and blasted towards Beerus with unparalleled power. Beerus suddenly bent 90 degrees, and Beerus he dodged the attack easily, without any panic on his face, as if even the 11 gods of destruction joining forces were nothing more than that in his eyes. Looking at Beerus's movements from a distance, Goku shouted, "Monkeys compete with thunder, monkeys compete with thunder. Does Lord Beerus have eyes on his back?" In response to this, many strong men from all major dimensions also widened their eyes and were extremely shocked. You know, it was a joint attack by the god of destruction, and Beerus actually dodged it so easily. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Whis on the side explained to Goku that it was because Beerus' body was confident in his ability to judge and dodge attacks. And this is the self-free ultimate intention kung fu. The strong men from all major dimensions also expressed doubts, not knowing what the ultimate intention kung fu is. However, Beerus has not yet fully mastered the ultimate intention kung fu, so the next moment Beerus in the picture was huge. He grabbed it with his palms, and when the gods of destruction saw this opportunity, they also swarmed forward. Ah! When the attacks of the other gods of destruction were about to fall, Beerus's roar instantly spread throughout the world. Tianwanja, with veins all over his body, broke free from the huge palm that restrained him, and the attacks of other gods of destruction hit the god of destruction from the third universe. Boom! The power of several gods of destruction fell instantly. On the body of the god of destruction of the third universe, the terrifying power instantly blasted him away. On top, looking at the familiar figure in the sky, one of the gods of destruction shouted, and then all the gods of destruction turned into streams of light and rushed toward Beerus in the sky. However, when they came to the cat, they found that the cat was Beerus' twin brother Xiongpa. Taking this opportunity, Beerus had already defeated the god of destruction from the third universe below. Ha ha ha, that's just bait, you idiots. Try this trick. Located in the ring, Beerus' wanton laughter came out, and a purple energy bomb suddenly blasted out from his hand. The energy bomb full of destruction came in front of them instantly. Boom! At the same time, Universe 9 the god of destruction unfolded a barrier to cover Xiongpa and the other 3 gods of destruction, successfully blocking Beerus' attack. But the next second, the god of destruction from Universe 9 was kicked by the clown god of destruction from Universe 11. He kicked out and then landed heavily on the audience stage not far away. In response to the questions from the other gods of destruction, the corners of the clown god of destruction's mouth slightly raised, facing the eyes of everyone without the slightest burden. Our opponents can not just the god of destruction, think about it clearly, this is a big melee. It's not a siege on Beerus. Ha ha ha, not bad, it's getting more and more fun on the ring, the laughter of the mouse god of destruction also slowly came out. In an instant, everyone woke up, but the clown god of destruction had already used his superpower and used a white the barrier imprisoned the other gods of destruction. Phew! As the body of the clown god of destruction jumped up, countless red playing cards were like a violent storm, constantly blasting towards the gods of destruction. That bastard! The nine-tailed god of destruction roared and broke through the restraints instantly. The nine tails aimed at the clown god of destruction and continuously blasted out golden energy bombs. In an instant, the overwhelming energy bombs continued to blast towards the clown god of destruction. Every one, they are all packed with infinite energy and can easily destroy the solar system. But just as the two were fighting, the god of destruction from the second universe set up his bow and arrow and penetrated towards the nine-tailed god of destruction in an instant, almost killing him. The life of the nine-tailed god of destruction. Ho 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 ho. At the same time, the giant elephant god of destruction in the 10th universe used the elephant roar technique, and the terrifying sound waves instantly swept the entire arena and continued to spread throughout the world. At this moment, the entire audience was struck by the explosive sound and suffered unbearable headaches, and their bodies were also paralyzed. Even the countless strong men in the world were 1.5 shocked by this terrifying roar. Their scalps were numb and the pain was unbearable. Many of them wailed, saying that when gods fight, mortals suffer. In the picture, all the gods of destruction have used their special skills, and even powerful gods of destruction like Xiongpa have with a lot of scars. He looked extremely embarrassed, and his terrifying abilities were even more exhausted. The whole place became a mess and fell into a tragic fight. Wukong and all the major dimensions who were watching from a distance, the strong men were dazzled and couldn't tell who was following whom. Even the king on the throne said softly and cutely that he couldn't see clearly at all. He couldn't see it. It's too fast, too noisy, and so boring. At this, the great priest was a little surprised, and then nodded. Is that so? Then let them stop fighting. On the ring, after a burst of fighting, countless thick fogs continued to fly, and each one was destroyed one by one. Gods fell one after another, and destructive power continued to spread. Finally, only Beerus, the god of destruction, and the rat god of destruction from the 4th universe were left in the ring. Both of them were equally scarred, breathing heavily, and feeling pain and exhaustion in their bodies. This scene made countless spectators in the world take a breath, and their hearts were extremely shocked. Their whole bodies could not help but tremble, and they felt a strong sense of suffocation all over their bodies. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 213. At this moment, most of the powerful people in the world were shocked by the battle between the gods of destruction before them. They never thought that a battle would be so intense. Unlike the previous era when all kings took action to wipe out the universe, the battle between the gods of destruction relied on their own strength and did not even use the ability to destroy. However, the battle between them was a fist-to-fist battle. The nine-tailed god of destruction, who is constantly running out of all kinds of weird abilities and moves, and has 9 tails that constantly blast out golden energy bombs. There are clown gods of destruction who can use superpowers to imprison opponents and blast countless playing cards with terrifying power. There are also giant elephant gods of destruction who can use sound waves to transfer energy, and there are even gods of destruction who use primitive human bows and arrows. Everything is so weird. But it is undeniable that although their attack methods look very strange, the terrifying power contained in them has already far surpassed Goku and others in Super Blue form. Even the collision between Vegito and Zamasu, none of them are as intense as they come. Among them, the performance of Beerus, the god of destruction, is the most outstanding. Although most of the powerful people in all major dimensions do not know what the ultimate intention skill is, Beerus's performance is remarkable. First, he avoided the attacks of 11 gods of destruction by himself, and was the first to defeat one of the 11 gods of destruction with his super high combat awareness and tyrannical fighting power. Then, under the reminder of the clown god of destruction, many destroyers, people started a melee. But even so, Beerus was still targeted by other gods of destruction intentionally or unintentionally, and even eliminated several gods of destruction with his own hands. Although he also paid a lot of price, how could the battle between the 03 gods of destruction be easy? Defeat the opponent. You know, this battle is the most powerful existence in the 12 universes. And Beerus was able to stay in this melee that was targeted until the end. This kind of strength is simply terrifying. Of course, in addition to Beerus, the sinister clown god of destruction and the rat god of destruction from the 4th universe are also amazing. There is no doubt that the clown god of destruction is a more insidious existence among the many gods of destruction, but he is also extremely powerful. However, under the fierce offensive of the nine-tailed god of destruction, the two of them could only fall together in the end. The remaining rat gods of destruction can be said to be among the top 3 gods of destruction besides Beerus. After all, the god of destruction who can stand at the end is naturally one of the top ones. And Beerus, the god of destruction, is naturally the most powerful god of destruction. Humph, that's all. You actually think you can defeat me just by relying on a large number of people? It's really ridiculous. In the world of Dragon Ball, the corners of Beerus' mouth raised slightly, and his face was full of disdain. At this moment, his heart was very happy. To know that he could steal the show in the eyes of everyone in the world, even he felt very proud. Lord Beerus is really powerful, but if the 11 gods of destruction continue to besiege them, even you may not be able to stop them, right? At this time, Whis on the side could not help but chuckle. In response, Beerus could only snort and put away his disdainful expression. After all, although he felt that he was definitely the strongest among the gods of destruction, but even he, facing the combined forces of the 11 gods of destruction, is absolutely impossible to resist. It may be possible to resist for a while at the beginning, but if it goes on for a long time, he will definitely lose miserably. Yes, and those guys didn't show their full strength at the beginning. Lord Beerus, you are so powerful. With such terrifying strength, even me in the future will probably be easily killed in seconds. In North Kaiwang, Goku swallowed, his face extremely shocked. In other universes, the other gods of destruction couldn't help but feel a little unhappy, but there was no way. They did understand Beerus's strength through the picture. If any one of them is singled out, it is impossible for him to be Beerus' opponent. You really stayed, Beerus. It looks like we can finally compete. In the picture, the mouse god of destruction looked at the scarred Beerus in front of him, with a ferocious smile on his face. I can finally shut up the noisy rat. Just kidding, I must be the winner in the end, you tumultuous cat. The two roared angrily, and the extremely violent god's breath continued to rise on their bodies. Purple and yellow flames suddenly exploded around them. Hurricanes comparable to level 20 swept out like storms. Waves of invisible fluctuations continued to spread around them. Click. Click. In the void, one purple and one yellow energy kept colliding. The entire space could hardly bear the collision of the two people's breaths. Their power was here for a moment, it was raised to the extreme, and a steady stream of energy continued to gather in the right fist. This blow was the last all-out punch. The winner of this god of destruction battle will be announced with this blow. Boom. As the purple and yellow energy contracted back into their bodies, the two fists shrouded in purple and yellow energy respectively exuded unparalleled terrifying power, and the surrounding space was constantly distorted by this powerful force. It cracked and the entire dimension began to creak. These two gods of destruction have raised their powers to the extreme, and even the universe cannot bear their power at this moment. There is no doubt that if the two attacks collide, the entire universe will collapse in an instant. This moment. The top powerhouses in all major dimensions were looking at the two men intently. Although they still couldn't feel the aura emanating from their bodies, the energy with unparalleled power in their fists was enough to make all the worlds, the strong men among them, were afraid. Ah 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 ah. In the picture, Beerus and the mouse god of destruction roared, stepped suddenly, and their bodies turned into purple and yellow streams of light and rushed towards each other. The terrifying speed even penetrated the space and entered the cracks in different dimensions. However, just when the two fists carrying incomparable power were about to collide, the figure of the great priest suddenly appeared in the eyes of everyone in the world. Boom! The index fingers of his left and right hands were stretched out at the same time. Facing the fist that carried the energy to destroy the universe, the great priest looked calm and blocked the attacks of the two people without any trouble. No matter how powerful the two people were, in front of that index finger, unexpectedly, he couldn't even stir up a little bit of dust. To read exciting novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Boom! At this moment, the heads and souls of countless powerful people in the world seemed to have been struck by a thunderbolt, and they stayed in place in a daze. Even the ability to think was lost at this moment. Incredible! You know, these two gods of destruction are the top beings among the 12 gods of destruction, but in the face of the terrifying blows they unleashed with all their strength, the high priest actually easily resisted the fists of both parties. Too strong. If Quan Wang's ability scares countless strong men in all realms, then the great priest's strength makes them feel their own insignificance. At this moment, they feel like dust in the air. You know, facing an existence like the god of destruction, they are already extremely weak, but if compared with the great priests who easily blocked the full attack of the two gods of destruction, then they are really just among the best in the world. The little dust is gone. It seems that everything Angel Y said is true, he can't even compare to a finger of the great priest. Does this kind of power really exist? At this moment, not only Wukong and others in the Dragon Ball world, but also all the creatures, countless creatures in the entire universe made a sound that sounded like they were dreaming in an instant. No wonder, the great priest will be the most powerful person in the universe. The scene continued to play. After stopping the battle between Beerus and Beerus, the high priest said that because the battle of the god of destruction was too fierce and noisy, even the king could not see clearly, and it felt too boring, so the whole game was changed to 12 human beings from across the universe come to participate. After some discussion, the agenda and content of the conference have been determined. With all the gods of destruction, Kaishin, and angels kneeling in obeisance, the high priest slowly took out the king's edict. Now read out the notice issued by King Quan of 450. King Calendar 300 and 130 550 and the 603rd day, starting from 157 o'clock, 10 contestants from each universe will be gathered together to hold a power conference. 10 contestants. Tournament of Power. At this moment, the god of destruction and the Kaijins who were kneeling on the ground couldn't help but sweat dripping down their foreheads. After that, the high priest indicated the location of the Tournament of Power. Located in the world of Wu, the final winner will be rewarded with a Super Dragon Ball that can realize any wish. The world of Wu is a world without time and space, only filled with eternity and nothingness. And the winning universe does not have any reward, and the opposite. The defeated universe will be wiped out by the king. Hearing this, the Kaishin and the god of destruction in the 12 universes present were instantly frightened, and their bodies began to tremble uncontrollably. Defeated. It means disappearing forever. And just when many gods were frightened, the high priest also announced that Universe 9 and Universe 7 would have a 3-on-3 frontline battle. As for the reason, the human level in these two universes is the lowest among the 12 universes. However, the human level does not refer to the highest combat power among humans, but in terms of civilization level and average combat power. In addition, since among the 12 universes, the 1st, 5th, 8th and 12th universes, the average level of these 4 universes is above 7, so there is no need to participate in the power conference and they will not be destroyed. With that, the tournament of power begins. The fighting competition between 8 universes and the 10 most powerful warriors in each universe begins. And such a highly anticipated moment also made the strong men of all dimensions excited. 80 strong men from 8 universes, how powerful will they be, and what kind of sparks will they unleash? This is the chance for the only universe among the 8 universes to survive. This will be a power conference that can shock the world. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 214. The screen continues to play. The first outpost battle pits Goku, Gohan, and Fat Buu against the Grey Wolf combination of Universe 9. The rules are the same as those of the world's #1 martial arts tournament, and it is not like the previous battle with the God of Destruction, but one-on-one fight. In the end, without any surprise, Universe 7 won. So strong, players from other universes are actually so powerful, and that's just the universe with the lowest average strength among the 12 universes. Watching the battle of several people, many people in the world couldn't help but feel emotional. Even the combination of these 3 Grey Wolves is enough to crush countless worlds. Even Frieza, the Emperor of the universe who just appeared in the Dragon Ball world, they are not their opponents. Then, after the battle, the High Priest explained the rules of the official game. First of all, the venue of the competition is set in the realm of Wu, and in the realm of Wu, the Great Priest has created a ring. As long as you knock the opponent down, you will win. If you want to lie on the ground and win, you can throw him out. There are 3 prohibited items. First, you cannot use weapons. Second, you cannot cause the other party to die. Third, you can't use Wukong to fly in the sky. The competition time is 48 minutes, and unlike the world #1 martial arts tournament, this competition is a melee, not one-on-one like before. All contestants fight within the specified time to see which universe has the most people left in the end, and that universe can win and survive. Therefore, teamwork is crucial in this competition, but this just doesn't fit in with Wukong's style as a Lone Ranger. Another thing is that the angels of the 8 universes will not be eliminated along with the universe, but will return to the Hall of All Kings. Many people in all the world say that angels have a tough background. The most powerful priest in the universe is the biological father of Whis and Bardos, and is very likely to be the father of other angels. In other universes, even the God of Destruction can only be eliminated if they lose, but the angel is fine, there is someone behind it who is so stubborn. In the picture, because the fate of the entire universe can be determined by just one game, even Toppo from Universe 11 can't stand Goku at this moment, so Toppo jumped onto the ring, introduced himself, danced, and threatened to destroy Wukong on behalf of justice. And this is exactly what Wukong wants. He hasn't had enough of it just now. If you want to come, come, who is afraid of whom? The Kaishin of the 11th universe thought this was a good opportunity to show off the strength of their universe, so they asked Quan Wang for permission to have another game. Quan Wang, who is like 2 children, was also looking forward to it, so he decided. Subsequently, Toppo and Goku started a battle. Under Toppo's terrifying strength, Goku, who transformed into a Super Saiyan, was no match for him and could only let the other side ravage him. Boom! As sky blue flames suddenly exploded around Wukong, the two fought fiercely together again. The intensity of the scene was so intense that even Quan Wang watched it with relish. After that, Wukong, who was still in the super blue form, was even better. However, facing such a powerful Wukong, Toppo didn't even use his full strength. After resisting a wave of Turtle Kagong, boom! Toppo roared angrily, and red blazing flames suddenly exploded around him, and powerful aura continued to spread out, even worse than Wukong in his super blue form. Kyo Fist. Seeing this, Wukong's face was also full of excitement. The red and blue flames suddenly enveloped him. The powerful aura of God continued to rise, and the terrifying power swept across the world. And just as the two of them were planning at full speed, when they were fighting to the death, the high priest stopped the two of them, because the high priest felt that if the fight continued like this, sooner or later one of the parties would be killed, and it would be difficult to hold the tournament of power by then. It would be better to leave the climax to the official competition. Fight. Faced with what the great priest said, King Quan naturally had no choice but to agree. In this regard, many beings in the world still saw some details. That is, this great priest, I'm afraid he is really strong, and he actually stopped the game without the permission of the king. Although the reason is irresistible, this kind of behavior of overriding the king and stopping the game is not what a courtier should do. Now it seems that the high priest and Quan Wang are probably a combination close to the angel god of destruction. Although they respect Quan Wang, they will not leave everything to the other's whim. After that, the face Tokpo was very disdainful of Gaku's overtures, and also said that the strongest person in their world is not him, but his teammate Grey Jiren. Gaku's strength is close to him, so it is impossible for Gaku to defeat him. Jiren's. For this, the strong men from all major dimensions and even the god of destruction in the Dragon Ball world were a little surprised. You know, Gaku's strength is considered top among the 12 universes. But this Tokpo actually said that Gaku could not defeat Jiren. Could it be said that the strength of the Grey Jiren has far surpassed Gaku, and may even reach the realm of the god of destruction? As the scene continued to play, Gaku was not afraid of Tokpo's words, but became even more excited, making Beerus, the god of destruction, furious. Then, the great priest announced that today's competition was over, and the arena was ready to be set up. The official competition would take place in 40 hours. During this period, everyone can summon 10 players from their respective universes to compete. As the picture continued to change, Wukong and others also returned to Earth to find 10 human contestants to compete, and the first character that Wukong thought of was naturally the number 1 Monica in the universe. But among everyone, only Gaku didn't know that Monica was a passerby, so Beerus could only lie, saying that Monica was injured and couldn't compete. After that, Gaku also thought about Vegeta, Piccolo, and Krillin, but Satan was a little doubtful about Krillin's ability. After all, android number 18 has infinite energy, and it is possible that he could squeeze Krillin to the point of death. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Filu Novel Network. And Klin is here, so number 18 is a must, and number 17 has unlimited energy. But because it's a big melee, you can't just look at strength. It requires experienced people, so Wukong and others roped in Kame Sennin. Many people in the world are very puzzled by this. It's true that he needs to be experienced, but can Kame Sennin, who only has a combat power of more than 100, really be able to fight against the enemy in the tournament of power? As a result, Gaku and others gathered 9 players, namely Gaku, Gohan, Fat Buu, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, number 18, number 17, Kame Sennin and others. Later, because he did not believe in Krillin's strength, Gohan challenged the bald Krillin, but he was unexpectedly beaten by Krillin and lost the game. After Wukong saw the battle between Gohan and Krillin, he also fought with Krillin, but what was unexpected was that the normal Gaku did not have much advantage against Krillin. Later, Wukong even transformed into a super blue form, but anyone with a discerning eye could see that Wukong deliberately let go in order to inspire Krillin's confidence. With this, Klin also passed the test and successfully regained his confidence. Afterwards, Gaku and Gohan also started to inform others, and after that Gaku also competed with Buu, number 17, and Kame Sennin. Among them, Number 17 was the most powerful. Because Xiao Shalu was not completely eliminated back then, but stayed on the island where number 17 was. On weekdays, number 17 often competed with them, so his strength has improved so much over the years that even Gaku in his Super 3 form couldn't defeat number 17. When facing Kame Sennin, Gaku actually activated his Super Blue form. In the battle with Piccolo, Gohan gradually recovered the strength he had when fighting Majin Buu and became the mysterious Gohan again. Moreover, the mysterious Gohan also had a battle with Gaku in his Super Blue form, but of course Gaku won in the end. Later, Gaku also found Tianjin Fan as the 10th player, but because Majin Buu fell into a deep sleep, there were only 9 players in the end. Facing Beerus's angry rebuke, Gaku thought of Frieza, and in the end everyone reluctantly agreed to let Frieza join the team. Looking at this scene, not only most people in the world were confused, but even Frieza who was watching the scene was confused. What? Invite me, King Frieza? Are you kidding me? How could I, the majestic emperor of the universe, join forces with Usian monkeys? Let me tell you, even if I, Frieza, starved to death in hell and was destroyed by Beerus, the god of destruction, I would never be able to join your team. As the scene continued to play, Gaku went to the underworld to find Frieza, and put Frieza down from the flowers. Faced with Gaku's invitation, Frieza refused without hesitation. That's it, then I'm leaving. See you again if we have a chance. In response, Gaku raised his hand and walked away without any trace. Faced with Gaku's mysterious operation, Frieza was confused and hurriedly called Gaku, and then discussed the terms. And the condition is that he can compete, but he must be completely resurrected. Originally, Gaku wanted to refuse, but Frieza backhand transformed into Golden Frieza, so Gaku happily agreed. After that, Gaku and Golden Frieza met again after a great battle. It ended in a tie. In the end, the 7th universe, which gathered 10 warriors, came to the world of nothingness under the leadership of Whis. As the picture continued to change, the remaining 7 universe contestants also gradually come on stage. Moreover, the great priest also used his own power to set the gravity of Wajit to the gravity of the planet when each player was born, and also set a rule prohibiting flying. Even a strong man like Wukong would not be able to fly in this way. You can't fly in front of the rules. In this regard, Wukong and others in the Dragon Ball world and many people in the world once again lamented the terrifying power of the great priest. Under the attention of everyone in the world, the power conference officially begins. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 215. At this moment, the barrage instantly boiled over, and countless people began to discuss it. The overwhelming barrage continued to pass by, making people dizzy. It's so awesome, a top-notch melee battle between 80 superpowers. This will be a battle that is not inferior to the God of Destruction. The strong men of Universe 11 all look so powerful, and there is actually this guy who looks very similar to Beerus, the God of Destruction. Judging from the field, I am afraid that the overall strength of Universe 11 is probably the strongest. Not to mention Toppo who can fight with Gaku, Jiren gives me the feeling that he is not weaker than the God of Destruction. The 6th universe is not bad either. Hit, who has the Flash Kung Fu, has a huge advantage in this melee. That's right, this game is not just about who has the strongest fighting ability, but also about how many people stay on the field. But what was unexpected was that Frieza actually agreed to fight. Ha ha ha, for Frieza, staying in that flower world is countless times more miserable than staying in hell. Although the strong men in other universes are powerful, I think Wukong from the 7th universe will win the final victory. You must know that there are several strong men at the top of the universe among them. That's right, Vegeta in the Super Blue form, Gaku in the Super Blue form of Tenfold Kaioken, Gohan the mysterious Gohan who transformed from Nobi Gohan back to Super 3, and there are also those who can defeat the Super Blue form. Golden Frisia, and number 17 who can compete with Super 3 without losing a beat. Well, although Krillin, Kame Sennin, Tianjin Fan, number 17, and Piccolo are not too strong, they have very rich combat experience and will definitely be able to win this power conference. Kakarot, come on. Come on Universe 7. As the barrage passed by overwhelmingly, many people continued to discuss the strong ones in each universe, 780, but most people were more optimistic about the 7th universe, the 11th universe, and the 6th universe. Damn it, my future self actually agreed to that stinky monkey's request. How is this possible? In the world of Dragon Ball, Friesia's face is full of anger. He just said that he would never be able to help these Saiyans no matter what. Unexpectedly, he backhandedly agreed in the picture. This is really annoying. But after thinking about it carefully, Frisia felt relieved. After all, if he is allowed to stay in that flower bush forever, then he might as well help these Saiyan monkeys. After all, there are no eternal enemies, only eternal interests. In the 7th universe, we will definitely win. In the 7th universe, a group of humans and creatures headed by Klin and others kept shouting and cheering. However, Yamcha on the side could only draw circles on the ground. Why, even Krillin, a bald man, can participate in the tournament of power, but this guy Goku actually forgot about me. We in Universe 11 will definitely win, and we have Jiren among us. In Universe 11, Toppo's face is full of confidence. I will definitely not lose in the future. In the 6th universe, Hit looked at himself in the picture, his eyes full of determination. And this scene also happened in every universe. They all believed that their universe could survive until the end. Welcome everyone, I have been looking forward to this conference, everyone must have a good time. In the picture, as Quan Wang's soft and cute voice came out, many people secretly complained, Grandma Li, the losing universe will be eliminated. Who can play happily? What a match! After that, the great priest also told, Adsi, the rules of the tournament of power to the players from each universe. The arena where the players competed was a giant top-shaped arena, and the pillar in the middle of the arena would follow the rules of the tournament. As time goes by, it slowly sinks. When it sinks to be parallel to the ring, it will be the end of the game. The game time is 48 minutes. Because Wukong offended the gods in the last panoramic game, players from other universes are fighting against each other. The 7th universe is watching with eager eyes. So among the All-Kings, the great priests, the all-universe gods of destruction, angels and Kaijins, witnessed by other characters and everyone in the world, the power conference gathering the strongest combat forces in the universe begins. Please get ready. The tournament of power begins now. Following the great priest's order, the warriors from the 8 universes instantly rushed towards the surrounding enemies. Boom 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 boom. In an instant, the whole place was filled with flames, and colorful rays of light were constantly reflected in everyone's eyes. Countless energy with destructive aura was blasted out continuously, and the entire arena became a mess. Faced with the survival of their own universe, they did not hold back at all and were fighting with all their strength. After all, no one wants to be eliminated. This moment, countless spectators in all the worlds were frightened. Those terrifying energy bombs were enough to easily destroy most of the worlds in all the worlds. Of these guys, even the weakest guy has at least the power to destroy the planet. Those are the strongest ghost-slaying swordsmen, the 4 emperors, the strong shadow level, the captain level, the 10 blades, etc. He is not even qualified to participate in this competition. Those warriors from the 8 universes are so powerful. Dozens of terrifying auras were mixed together, and the astonishing power constantly refreshed the audience's understanding. However, while the strong men from other universes were fighting, Wukong and others in the 7th universe actually stayed where they were. Faced with such a fierce battle, the two Pursians, Gaku and Vegeta, could no longer suppress their bellicose instincts. Gaku moved his steps and began to run over to find his opponent. Faced with this situation, Gohan and others were powerless. Then Vegeta, number 17, number 18, Frieza and others also shot out almost at the same time and began to look for opponents. After all, they don't want to wait all the time, so taking the initiative to eliminate their opponents is the way to go. On the other side, Gaku originally planned to go to Toppo for a duel, but he encountered the obstruction of the fourth universe on the way, and the two sides fought together. As time went by, the first eliminated contestant was born, and that contestant was the butterfly beauty from the 10th universe. After that, Gaku and Vegeta fought against all the players in Universe 9, then the two of them transformed into Super Blue forms and simultaneously blasted the turtle-style Kigong waves and the ultimate flash. Boom! To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. As the azure blue light waves and golden light waves blasted towards the Grey Wolf combination, the astonishing shock wave carried endless power, killing the last member of the 9th universe. He blasted out of the ring and teleported to the audience. This is impossible. Looking at the scene on the screen, all the creatures in Universe 9 and the God of Destruction showed expressions of disbelief. How could their 9th universe be eliminated so easily? According to the rules, Universe 9 will be ruthlessly eliminated by King Quan. Buzz. As the dazzling white light lit up from the hands of the two kings, they shook their hands gently, just a moment. The God of Destruction, Kaishin, all contestants of Universe 9, as well as all creatures, planets, and the universe itself in Universe 9 were eliminated and turned into nothingness under the terrifying power of the All-King. Except angels, all existence was erased in an instant. No. This can't be true, this must be a dream. At this moment, countless people in Universe 9 let out mournful screams. All the warriors were horrified to the extreme. Even the God of Destruction looked extremely frightened. In the future, they will be the first to be defeated and be ruthlessly wiped out by the king. At this moment, countless beings in the entire universe were silent, with extremely complicated expressions on their faces. Although I already knew that losers would be erased, I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Sure enough, only a person with a big fist can control his own destiny. In the picture, this scene also gave everyone present a severe blow, and many people's faces were full of horror. No doubt. Quan Wang is serious. If you lose the game, you will really be wiped out? Even the Universe Emperor Frieza couldn't help but sigh. Those two colorful children have extremely cute voices, but their attacks are so ruthless, it's really unpleasant. One day, I will be above you people. In response to this, everyone in the world showed disdain. A little Frieza actually wants to be superior to all kings. It is simply ridiculous. However, although most of them everyone thinks Frieza can't do it, but in their hearts they also want to surpass King Jian and others. However, there are very few people in the world who can reach this level. As the picture continued to change, Krillin was eliminated after eliminating two contestants. At this point, the first eliminated character in Universe 7 was born. Then, Gaku met Caulifla and Kale, the female Saiyans from Universe 6. As a Saiyan from Universe 6, not long after they learned to become Super Saiyans, after seeing Gaku's Super Blue form, the two of them couldn't wait to come and become their disciples. We haven't seen that blue hair of yours before. Can you teach us a little bit about it? And in return I will use my blue hair form to knock you out of the field. Facing Wukong, Caulifla didn't show any timidity and spoke out her purpose without hesitation. But Kair on the side looked pitiful, which attracted many people to want to take pity on him. However, regarding Caulifla's words, many people felt that her tone was too loud, and she actually wanted to kick Wukong out of the game. In response, Wukong said that you can't do it if you want to become Super Blue, and he was Caulifla, who had underestimated her, suddenly exploded and transformed into a Super Saiyan muscle form. Even her pectoralis major muscles expanded several cups. But everyone knows that although this form has increased strength, its speed has not. It's lowered, and it's not of much use. So after easily defeating Caulifla, Goku said that since you want to learn so much, then I will teach you to become the second level Super Saiyan first. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 216. Looking at the scene in front of them, the strong men from all major dimensions couldn't help but their heads were buzzing. Even Kakarot fans felt dumbfounded. No. No. What a guy. Regarding the safety of the universe, you kid is still wondering. He actually taught his opponent to transform into the second level of Super Saiyan? Aren't you afraid that you will be wasted to death in a while? Even if you waste yourself to death, it's okay, but you have the entire universe on your shoulders now. If you die, then the seventh universe may also be GG. Dog, this guy Gukong is still like this even now. It's true, on Earth in Dragon Ball world, Krillin couldn't help but complain. There is no way, Sun Wukong is Sun Wukong, if he were not like this, he might not become so strong. Besides, Piccolo sighed and looked up at the sky at 45 degrees, with a little helplessness in his eyes. From this point of view, Sun Wukong can become stronger and stronger because of his character. First of all, with he fought against him, but when he had the chance to kill him, he actually didn't do it. The same thing happened with Raditz, but the Saiyan was just too stupid, and he had to die together in the end. After the future is Vegeta, Frieza, Cyborg, Sharu, even with Majin Buu, Goku has the strength to defeat the opponent every time, or to kill the opponent when the opponent is weak, but this guy just doesn't play according to the routine, and his performance is not so good every time. And how could it be so easy to achieve the second level of Super Saiyan? You must know that it took me a long time to reach that point in the future. I am just a little girl with yellow hair. It is impossible. In the spaceship, Vegeta couldn't help but snorted, his face full of disdain. Ahem, Vegeta, have you forgotten that in the future you taught a kid named Gabe in their universe, and that guy suddenly turned into a Super Saiyan? Maybe Caulifla can do it too. Woolen Cloth, Naba couldn't help but said. Vegeta couldn't help but be stunned and almost forgot about it. The Saiyans in the sixth universe are very weird. Maybe this little girl really can do it. Damn it, this guy Sun Wukong has such a hateful character. He still does this at such a critical moment. I must destroy him. In the God of Destruction, Beerus's face was extremely angry, and his whole body couldn't help but tremble with anger, and his teeth creaked. Lord Beerus, if it weren't for Goku, the seventh universe in the future might have been wiped out by Lord Quan Wang. Besides, Whis smiled faintly, with a little joking on his face. In response, Beerus could only snort without saying too many words. In the sixth universe, Caulifla looked at the scene in front of her, her eyes I couldn't help but shine. If my future self can reach that form, my strength can be greatly improved. This power conference is really interesting. We will have one after watching the inventory video. In King Quan's palace, King Quan's soft and cute voice came out. I obey, Lord Quan Wang, but the strength of other universes and the seventh universe at this time is still too weak, and it is very likely that they will not be able to meet this expectation. On the side, the high priest saluted slightly and expressed his worries. In response, Quan Wang frowned, and then he was relieved. Anyway, for him, decades passed quickly, so just wait. Boom. In the picture, as the golden arrogance suddenly exploded, Blue Thunder continued to dance around Wukong, and the aura on his body also continued to rise, and the terrifying power instantly enveloped the entire place. What many people didn't expect is that Caulifla is also an amazing person with amazing bones. After seeing one of Goku's transformations, She also transformed into the second level Super Saiyan, and her breath was compared to Wukong is no less impressive. In response to this, Vegeta couldn't help but vomit out a mouthful of old blood while watching the scene, feeling extremely shocked in his heart. Damn it! In the future, I have been training hard in the gravity room for several years before reaching the second level of Super Saiyan. This girl can change after looking at it once and roaring twice. As Caulifla transformed, Wukong also fought fiercely with her, and because the two ignored Kai who was watching the battle, he became extremely angry. Boom! As the green arrogance suddenly burst out, Kai's hair, eyes and eyebrows turned green, and the powerful aura continued to rise. Not only did his skin turn white, but his muscles also expanded by several dimensions, and terrifying hurricanes continued. Sweeping out, it instantly attracted the eyes of Wukong and many people in the world. Nani? Super Saiyan also has green hair? What kind of hook and ait operation is this? Many people in the field felt a little confused about this, and even Goku, Vegeta and others who were watching the scene were very puzzled. When did Super Saiyans also have green hair color? Located somewhere in the universe, Broly looked at Kel in the picture and couldn't help but feel a little familiar, and there was a real restlessness in his body. In the picture, as Kairu loses his mind joins the battle, Wukong in the Super Second form can only be ravaged by one side. Helpless Wukong can only transform into the Super Blue form, but even the turtle-style Kigong used by Wukong in the Super Blue form Bo, actually failed to defeat Kairu. Instead, he was blown away. After that, Kairu lost his mind, and the power in his body continued to spurt out. The overwhelming energy bombs continued to blast into the entire ring, and he eliminated several players in an instant, including one from Universe 11. Player Jiren. Looking at Jiren's figure, Toppo couldn't help shouting. Facing Kairu who was in a violent state, even he was not sure that he could eliminate him without killing him. Let me try. Seeing this, Jiren's body from Universe 11 jumped down, and then a blazing energy bomb instantly blasted Kel away, and a dazzling light burst out above the ring. Boom! It's over. As the explosion sounded, Jiren turned around and folded his arms, closing his eyes again, ignoring the earth-shattering horror aftermath behind him. As the dust and fog dissipated, without any surprise, Kairu was instantly hit by Jillian's energy bomb. She was given seconds, but she just couldn't be eliminated from the field. In response to this, countless strong men in the world couldn't help but change their expressions, and their whole bodies couldn't help but tremble. Read the cool novel, Go Up to Fly Lu Novel Network. Just now, the moment Jillian took action, the terrifying power on his body instantly swept across the world, and the terrifying oppression like the weight of Mount Tai fell on everyone instantly, causing many people who have been famous for a long time to the strong man is breathless. At this moment, there is no doubt. Everyone is convinced. This Jiren is really strong, so powerful that he can be compared to the god of destruction. You know, even Goku in the Super Blue form couldn't resist the irrational Kairu, but this guy Jiren actually killed this green-haired female Super Saiyan with a new hair color in an instant. Very strong. Jiren's true strength has reached a level comparable to that of the god of destruction, and he's not even the weakest among them. In the world of Dragon Ball, Beerus's eyes suddenly shrank, and his face couldn't help but change slightly. In the picture, facing such a powerful Jiren, Wukong couldn't help but get excited, and wanted to fight with him, but was Toppo came to stop him. Then Goku, Caulifla and Kale faced off against the Pride team and others, but fortunately with the help of number 17 and number 18, the numbers were even. However, in facing the terrifying fighting power of Goku and others, the Pride team of Universe 11 eliminated 5 members at once, and now only Toppo and Jiren are left. On the other side, with the constant flow of players being eliminated, the number of people on the field is getting smaller and smaller. And as all 10 warriors of Universe 10 were eliminated by Tao 10, According to the rules of the game, the two kings once again took action to wipe out Universe 10. And this scene also made the people in Universe 10 in the viewer's picture pale, and their whole bodies could not help but tremble. Over, ruined. In the future, they will be wiped out by the entire king. As the scene continues to play, Hit encounters Tispo from Universe 11 who looks very similar to Beerus, the god of destruction. And just when everyone in the world thought that Hit could easily defeat the opponent, an unexpected scene appeared. Call out. With one step, Tispo's body rushed towards Hit at an extremely terrifying speed like a bow and arrow. Seeing this, Hit assumed a fighting stance, and activated the flash time kung fu just before Tispo was about to arrive in front of him. Boom! However, what is unexpected is that Tispo's speed suddenly increased hundreds or thousands of times in an instant, and a punch landed on Hit's face, knocking him away. Hiss. In response to this, everyone in the world couldn't help but take a breath of cold air, and their faces couldn't help but look horrified. Of course they know full well how powerful Hit is. You know, when Wukong was in his super blue form, he was easily beaten by Hit. Only Goku, who has activated the Kaioken, or even 10 times the power of the Kaioken, can fight Hit back and forth. But now, this rabbit that looks like Beerus actually kicked Hit out. This simply exceeded everyone's expectations. Is it possible that Beerus, his half-brother, is actually as powerful as the god of destruction? In the picture, Hit, who was kicked out, frowned slightly, and then once again assumed a fighting posture of flashing time and rushed towards Tispo. However, Hit, who once again used the flash kung fu, was still no match for Tispo, and was still easily beaten. This scene scared the elephants in the audience. They said they heard that rabbits can run fast, but they didn't expect that they could run so fast. And at such a terrifying speed, even the two kings couldn't see his movements clearly. In response to this, many powerful men in the world were stunned, their faces filled with disbelief. Although they really couldn't see the speed of this rabbit named Tispo, after all, they were weak, so it was normal for them not to be able to see clearly. But, as the king of all, you are the supreme god who rules the 12 universes. You can't see the movements of a rabbit clearly, are you kidding me? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 217. Regarding the questions raised by many strong men in various major dimensions, some strong men also gave some explanations. The general explanation is that although Quan Wang is the highest level god in the universe, and the owner can easily erase all abilities, what Quan Wang possesses is only the ability after all, and it is not like the great priest who relies on his own slow power. Slowly improve. So it's normal for King Quan to not be able to see Titus' movements clearly. Some people said that perhaps Quan Wang's form was just normal and did not reveal his full strength. Because his physical fitness in normal state was too low, he could not see clearly. In response, the great priest in the picture took out a god-level tablet for all the kings to watch, and the god-level tablet can slow down the playback speed to watch. You can't see clearly the start of his attack, it's like he jumped out of time. On the ring, Hit looked at Tispo's position, his face full of solemnity, and he kept breathing heavily. As Hit kept thinking about the original battle, he finally understood why his flash kung fu was so powerful. It is not of much use to Tispo. The reason is that Tispo was moving at an unimaginable speed in the very short moment before Hit flashed. The answer is correct, I can move thousands of times faster in an instant. Looking at Hit slowly getting up, a sarcastic smile appeared on Tispo's face. The next thing you will think about is why that guy was able to dodge at the moment he used it. Attack at the right time. The answer will be known soon. As Hit's voice fell, the two men lifted him up again, and at the moment Hit's body moved slightly, Tispo's body disappeared from the place like a ghost, with a speed that exceeded the speed of light countless times. Movement speed kicked Hit away. No matter how many times you try, the result is the same. Looking in the direction where Hit was kicked, Tispo's wanton laughter came out. It's a voice. Slowly getting up, Hit raised his brows. When I activate flash time, even though it is only for a moment, I will gather all my strength, and you will listen carefully to the friction sound my muscles make. That's absolutely correct, but even if you understand it, you can't fight it. In this regard, Tispo did not have the slightest panic, but was full of confidence. Looking at this scene, many strong men in the world couldn't help but take a breath and felt extremely shocked. Unexpectedly. This Tispo's ability is so terrifying. He can actually increase his speed thousands of times in an instant. If his original speed has exceeded the speed of sound and is close to the speed of light. After being superimposed thousands of times, the terrifying speed will far exceed the speed of light and reach an unimaginable realm. Moreover, that Tispo could actually hear the friction sound of his muscles, which was really terrifying. Can Hit defeat such a terrifying enemy? Many people had this doubt and stared at the picture, but some people had already seen Tispo's weakness. Although his speed and ear power are indeed very powerful and terrifying, his attack power is too low. It is impossible to defeat Hit in these few attacks, or even to seriously injure him. And Hit will gradually adapt to Tispo's speed in the battle, and then he will be able to defeat Tispo. Even if you can crack flash time, you can't defeat me. In the picture, as Hit's voice came out, the two fought together again. Tispo's terrifying speed left countless after images on the ring, constantly attacking Hit, and the terrifying power continued. It poured on Hit. Facing the attack like a violent storm, Hit didn't panic at all. He continued to resist the opponent's attacks, and began to adapt to the opponent's speed bit by bit and kept groping for these. Broken routine. As Hit was knocked to the edge of the ring, when faced with Tispo's attack, Hit instantly transferred his body to a different dimension, but Tispo just missed it and almost fell off the ring. Seeing this, the strong men from all major dimensions said that Hit was just an old yinbai, and he was worthy of being the strongest killer in the universe. It's really amazing. In the scene, fortunately Topo saw through Hit's trap in time, and other members of the Pride team pulled him up. After this time, they also learned how powerful Hit was, so they planned to join forces to deal with Hit. Bang 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 bang. As soon as he stepped forward, Tispo's body was entangled with Hit again. The two kept colliding in mid-air. They collided thousands of times in just an instant. The terrifying aftermath continued to sweep out. The arena was constantly blasted to pieces. But as Hit was beating, his feet were tied by other members of the Proud fight, so Tispo took this opportunity to continuously attack Hit. However, something unexpected happened next. Boom! I saw Gaku, who had transformed into the Super Saiyan God, appear in front of Hit. He grabbed Tispo's fist with one hand, and red flames continued to burn around him. Sunday. Sun Wukong, looking at the man in front of him, Hit's face was filled with disbelief. Bang! Ignoring Hit, Wukong kicked Tispo and flew him away. Then Wukong said that he was not trying to help Hit, but seeing how powerful they were, they came over to join in the fun. Then, the two teamed up to deal with Tispo, and then it was a 2-on-2 fair fight. Gaku versus Tispo, and Hit versus Quincy. But in the face of Tispo's speed, Wukong in the Super Sailor God state could only be beaten passively, and he couldn't even use teleportation. Fortunately, Wukong switched to the Super Blue form when Tispo was about to attack. And immediately scared Tispo back. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Because although Tispo is very fast, like light, it can only move in a straight line, as long as the timing is correct. It can be dealt with. As expected of Kakarot, he is indeed a fighting genius. Hearing this, many people in the world suddenly realized and admired Wukong in their hearts. You know, if they were facing Tispo at this moment, even if they had Wukong's strength, they would probably be defeated unilaterally. It was such a slap in the face that I couldn't think of any other solution in a short period of time. But Wukong actually saw through Tispo's trajectory within a few rounds of fighting against him. This is really a genius, born for fighting. Super genius. And his side is blocked by a bunch of landmines planted by Quincy. As long as he takes a step forward, a big explosion will occur. However, Hit can also attack from a distance, and then the light hit Quincy. After Wukong saw through Tispo's movement trajectory, he fought back and forth with Tispo. After that, the two decided to exchange opponents. After understanding the opponent's attack characteristics, Wukong and Hit began to crush their opponents, and even Tispo's terrifying speed became useless. After all, Tispo couldn't predict when Hit would use the flash kung fu, so he could only be beaten passively. Later, in order to save Tispo, Quincy was kicked off the court by Hit. On the other side, Mr. Kame Senin actually eliminated 3 players again and again. The first 2 players were crushed. When facing the powerful third opponent, Kame Senin tried his best to use. He unleashed an extremely powerful wave of turtle-style Qigong and knocked him off the ring. The reason why Turtle Senin is so powerful is to move well, study well, play well, eat well, and rest well. Live a life where the start of school is fun and full of energy. In response to this, not only the people in the picture were shocked, but also many powerful people in the world were shocked. Did not expect. This lustful old Kame Senin man is actually so terrifyingly powerful. Could it be that? Are Kami Zenrin all pretending to be weak on purpose? Or are all the things Turtle Immortal said true? Can he become stronger by doing what he did? Regarding this, many people in the world were skeptical and began to practice according to what Turtle Immortal said. Well done, old man. In the world of Dragon Ball, Beerus, the god of destruction, couldn't help but exclaimed excitedly. Older ones are more spicy than ginger ones, Master Kami Zenrin. On Earth, Klin couldn't help but look at the Turtle Immortal beside him and admired. I didn't expect that this perverted old man was so powerful and could defeat those strong men from all universes. On the side, even Bulma couldn't help but sigh. Although she knew Kame Senin was very powerful, it was only for ordinary people like her. Facing powerful opponents in various universes, he should be vulnerable. But this old pervert was so powerful that he eliminated 3 opponents, and one of them looked very powerful. Haha, I originally wanted to be low-key, but now it seems that I am extremely low-key. Now that it's a showdown, I won't pretend anymore. Looking up at the sky at 45 degrees, Kame Senin transformed into a muscular form, and continued with an inscrutable look. Yes, I am the strongest on Earth. If Bulma shows me Pangji, I can be the strongest in the universe. Bang 3.5, in response, he only received an iron fist in response. The screen continued to play, and as people continued to be eliminated, the god of destruction, the clown god of Universe 11, decided that the time for Jiren to conserve his strength was over, and it was time to go up and kill him. The opponent named Sun Wukong was killed. So Jiren started to take steps and took the initiative to find Wukong. Wukong was also extremely excited about Jiren's behavior. Buzz. As Jiren continued to get closer, Wukong's powerful aura began to spread out continuously. At this moment, all the players in the ring felt Jiren's powerful aura. Countless gravels continued to tremble, and even the entire Wu realm began to tremble, sweeping all the heavens and worlds with unparalleled power. You finally want to compete with me? Looking at Jiren not far away, Wukong assumed a fighting posture, with an extremely solemn expression on his face. The power of his whole body was constantly running at this moment, and the majestic aura continued to spread out. At this moment, in everyone under the watchful eyes of everyone in the universe, Kakarot, the strongest man in the 7th universe, faced off against Jiren, the strongest man in the 11th universe. Facing him, even Topo admired him immensely. Jiren is even more powerful, can Kakarot defeat him? This battle of the strongest showdown has finally begun. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 218. In the picture, Jiren's face didn't change at all in the face of Gaku's actions. But what happened next made countless powerful people in the world feel unbelievable. Buzz. I saw Jiren's eyes glaring, and a terrifying hurricane swept across the entire arena instantly. An unparalleled powerful aura instantly enveloped the entire Wushija. Even Gaku was continuously forced back by this terrifying hurricane. At the same time, everyone present was shrouded in this terrifying aura, and the hurricane like a storm kept blowing everyone's heartstrings. So powerful, is this just the breath of a warrior? In the audience, cold sweat broke out on the face of the god of destruction Beerus. His expression was extremely horrified, and his eyes revealed disbelief. How could such a powerful aura be released by a human being? This is a powerful aura comparable to the god of destruction. It's amazing what will happen. My heart beats so much, I'm so looking forward to it. On the throne, the faces of the two kings were full of excitement, and their eyes looked at the two people on the ring with great expectation. At this moment, countless strong men in the whole world were shocked, and their whole bodies began to tremble uncontrollably. Their souls and bodies seemed to be struck by a thunderbolt, and they couldn't help but stay in place. Break, an existence at the level of a god of destruction, this is impossible. How could a human being have such terrifying strength? In the world of death, Aizen's face was full of horror, and his whole body couldn't help but collapsed on the ground. You know, the god of destruction is the most powerful god in the universe besides angels. But now there is another one. Humans have actually reached the height of the god of destruction 04, and it seems that they haven't even used their full strength yet. This is simply impossible. This powerful aura has reached the level of the god of destruction. It is impossible for Kakarot to defeat Jiren now. In the world of One Punch Man, Saitama's face was full of horror, and his whole body couldn't help but start to tremble, and he clenched his fists tightly. Such a terrifying aura was just like the feeling given to him by Beerus, the god of destruction. That power that is as vast as the universe is exactly the same. Although Beerus did not explode with all his strength, it is not something that a human can achieve, although it is not known how much strength Jiren has retained. But this enemy in front of him is simply not something Kakarot can deal with. Pillar-level strongmen, 4 emperors, countless pirates, major shadow-level strongmen, many magical girls, and 12 golden saints, many gods in the Saint Seiya world, countless heroic spirits in the Xingyu world, countless strong people in the low-level martial arts world, the high-level mixed martial arts world, the fairy world, the game world, the film and television world, and the fantasy world, all feel at this moment they felt huge pressure. It was a terrifying power that was not inferior to the god of destruction. The terrifying pressure was like the pressure of a star, which made them feel extremely frightened. When facing Beerus, they could not feel the other party's radiance. However, they could sense the Jiren in front of them very clearly. If some of them had not been blocked by the picture, they would have been affected by the powerful aura exuded by Jiren. Scared to death. In the picture, facing Jiren who exuded a terrifying aura, Wukong couldn't help but feel a huge pressure, and drops of cold sweat kept sliding down his cheeks. Ha! As Wukong with a roar, white arrogance suddenly exploded around him, the powerful aura suddenly climbed up, his hands were filled with terrifying energy, and the blue light waves rushed towards Jiren instantly with extremely fierce power. Boom! Face to face looking at the blue light wave in front of him, there was no wave on Jillian's face. When the blue Kigong wave withstood Jillian's 1 meter distance, it was blocked by the invisible breath. No matter how Wukong increased it, with such great power, he couldn't even force Jiren to take half a step back. Looking at Gaku, who didn't turn into the super blue form and use the turtle-style Kigong wave, Kaioshin, and everyone in the world couldn't help but be full of doubts, and Krillin explained that Wukong was testing the gap between himself and Jiren. Boom! Back on the battlefield, golden flames suddenly exploded around Wukong, and a powerful aura suddenly climbed up on him. Wukong's footsteps, as soon as he moved, his body was like an offline bow and arrow, and he quickly attacked Jiren. Bang! Without the slightest hesitation, Wukong suddenly punched Jiren in the face, and then his fists and legs continued to move toward Jiren. His body was blasted away, and then he transformed into the second-level Super Saiyan and attacked again. Bang 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 bang! In just a few seconds, thousands of terrifying attacks continued to fall on Jiren's body. The atmosphere on his body was constantly being blown away by Gaku's fists, and unparalleled power continued to pour into Jiren's body. However, facing Wukong's storm-like offensive, Jiren's face showed no signs of wavering, and even his body did not move in the slightest due to Wukong's attack, as if the Wukong in front of him was not attacking him, but giving him a blow. Its massage of 999 yuan is average. Boom 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 boom. As Gaku continued to bombard him, the entire screen was shaking. As Gaku transformed into the Super Saiyan God and punched out, Jiren, who looked calm, finally made a move. Boom. Facing the all-out blow from Super Saiyan God Gaku, Jiren easily caught the all-out blow with just one finger, and his body still didn't move at all, and even his eyes remained as calm as ever. Ah-da-da-da-da. Facing the indifferent Jiren, Wukong's fists and legs kept blasting out, waves of terrifying ripples kept spreading, hurricanes comparable to Category 12 storms kept sweeping out, and the terrifying force caused the earth to sink instantly. Only the place where the two people stood was still intact. However, facing Wukong's overwhelming attack, Jiren still completely resisted it with just one finger. Hiss! At this moment, the strong men from all major dimensions felt as if they had fallen into an ice cave. Their whole bodies and even their souls were frozen at absolute zero, feeling an unprecedented chill. To read exciting novels, go to Feel a Novel Network. Horrible, is this Jiren really human? That Kakarot's full force attack was actually blocked by Jiren with just one finger. Why do I feel that Jiren is more powerful than the god of destruction? Looking at this scene, the strong men from all major dimensions made extremely trembling sounds. You know, Kakarot in the picture has already transformed into the Super Saiyan God state. Even when facing the god of destruction Beerus, he wouldn't be so embarrassed, would he? However, that terrifying attack that could easily kill a strong man in all worlds with each punch was actually blocked by Jiren with one finger. Is this really possible? In the picture, after realizing the futility of his own attack, Wukong's movements suddenly stopped, and then he looked at Jiren in front of him and slowly said, "You can't use your true ability, then I will use my full strength." Ah! As Wukong's roar rang out, the entire arena, including the entire Wuxia, began to tremble. Countless gravels continued to rise into the sky, and a terrifying aura continued to hit him. As it climbed, dazzling blue light continued to shine out from its center. Boom! As the sky blue flames exploded around Wukong, the extremely powerful aura of God continued to fill his body. Explosive power continued to emerge from his body, and the terrifying power instantly enveloped the entire venue, sweeping across all heavens and realms. At this moment, players from other universes in the arena were also attracted by the battle between Gaku and Jiren, and even stopped the battle. Because, this battle is crucial. You must know that Gaku's strength is the most top-notch existence in the entire universe except for the gods above the god of destruction. If even Gaku cannot defeat, in other words, if Jiren is shaken, then there is no need for them to fight. And the clown god of destruction from Universe 11 directly stated that Jiren is absolutely impossible to lose, and no matter who the opponent is. As soon as these words came out, Even the lovely angel lady was surprised. Returning to the battlefield, the sky-blue arrogance around Wukong suddenly dissipated, and he walked towards Jiren unhurriedly until he was in the distance. Jiren was less than a few dozen centimeters away. The two stared at each other, and those who didn't know thought they were having sex. Many rotten girls from each 007 dimension even shouted, "Kiss me, kiss me." Boom. As the terrifying auras swept out, Wukong took the lead in launching an attack. The terrifying force instantly blew Jiren away, and then his bodies swarmed up and continued to launch fierce offensives towards Jiren. Bang 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 bang. Countless mountain peaks turned into countless rubbles in the collision between the two, and overwhelming afterimages continued to fill the air. The strength and speed of the two increased to the extreme, and they continued to collide fiercely in the air. At this moment, the powerful men from all major dimensions couldn't help but their eyes lit up, and their hearts were filled with hope again. That Jiren, who resisted the Super Saiyan God's fist with one finger, was actually shaken by Goku in his super blue form. However, while many viewers were happy, the situation on the screen suddenly plummeted. Jiren's speed and strength suddenly increased, and his terrifying fists continued to fall on Wukong, suppressing Wukong in an instant. Boom! As the red and blue flames exploded around Wukong, who was in the Kaio fist state, collided with Jiren again. The battle between the two was extremely fierce, and countless energy bombs continued to blast from Wukong's hands. When they came out, the battlefield between the two people had already spread all over the arena, and countless afterimages continued to appear on the arena. At this moment, when viewed from a distance, there were only invisible ripples coming out of the air. The silhouettes and movements of the two people could not be seen at all. Only the ripples and the sounds of collisions could be heard. Boom! With the final punch, Jiren's fist suddenly landed on Wukong's abdomen. The terrifying force blew Wukong's body away. He spat out a mouthful of foam and knelt on the ground, panting continuously. Sighing. At this moment, countless fans who supported Kakarot in all the worlds could not help but froze on the spot, looking at the scene in front of them in disbelief. That Kakarot. The one in super blue form is Kakarot with Kaio fist superimposed on it. Actually, he was actually suppressed easily by Jiren. This is impossible. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 219. At this moment, countless strong men in the world and the warriors of the Dragon Ball world fell into deep despair. Many people couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness when they saw Jiren easily defeating Super Blue Kaioken Goku with his crushing skills. Along the way, Kakarot has continued to become stronger, defeating powerful enemies along the way, and surpassing his own limits, but even so, Kakarot's strength is still far different from Jiren's. Perhaps, only Vegito, the combined incarnation of Vegeta and Goku, can hope to become Jiren's enemy. Damn this guy, how could there be such a terrifying guy in Universe 11? There is no way that Goku is his opponent. In the God of Destruction, Beerus's face turned livid, his fists couldn't help but clenched, and his whole body couldn't help but tremble. You know, if even Goku can't make an enemy of Jiren, then Universe 11 will probably be the last one. The winner, then his future self will definitely be wiped out by the king. Ha ha ha, as expected, Jiren is the most powerful warrior in the entire universe. No matter what Sun Wukong or Super Saiyan Blue, Universe 11, will be the final winner. In Universe 11, the face of the clown god of destruction was full of joy, and he couldn't help laughing. As long as Jiren is there, it is impossible for Universe 11 to be wiped out. No matter how powerful that guy Beerus is, what will happen? Didn't he end up being eliminated in the end? You're done. In the picture, Jiren with an expression on his face lifted Goku with one hand and said a word to Goku for the first time since the battle. Bang! Without any reason, Jiren suddenly punched Goku in the abdomen. the terrifying power made Wukong's face become ferocious, a mouthful of white foam suddenly spurted out, and a sharp pain filled his whole body. Buzz. A blow was packed with destructive energy light waves, and Wukong's body suddenly flew upside down. He went out, collapsing the mountains one after another until he fell into the ring. Just when Jiren and everyone thought that Wukong had lost, a powerful aura suddenly came, and Wukong was seen slowly crawling from the edge of the ring. He came up, surrounded by red and blue flames, and the expression on his face was extremely solemn. Wherever you go, the battle is not over yet. As Wukong's voice came out, Jiren's eyes turned to Wukong again. Ah! Roared a roar, the aura on Wukong's body suddenly increased dozens of times again, and then he stepped on it. He rushed towards Jiren quickly, violent sonic booms continued to explode around him, and the atmosphere was instantly knocked away by his terrifying speed. Buzz. Facing Goku, who was approaching quickly, Jiren's eyes suddenly condensed. A scarlet light filled his pupils, terrifying energy spread out instantly, several invisible attacks instantly fell on Wukong's body, and the terrifying power instantly blasted Wukong away. Dad. Hair, what happened? In the distance, Gohan and Piccolo, who were watching the battle, couldn't help shouting. Tisk, I didn't expect that, even I didn't see clearly, what a bastard. On the other side, Vegeta's eyes were also full of solemnity, and the expression on his face was extremely shocking. You must know that his strength is among the top ones on this battlefield, but he couldn't even look at it. Clearly understand Jiren's movements. This is enough to show how terrifying Jiren's strength is. Arrive, how on earth did it happen? How come I saw Jiren's eyes widen and Kakarot flew out in an instant? In the world of pirates, Luffy was stunned on the spot, with an extremely confused expression on his face. This scene also appeared in all major dimensions, and many strong people were confused. Could it be that this guy Jiren can also flash time? Impossible. Isn't this flash time kung fu only known by Hit? How could Jiren from Universe 11 be able to use it? And even with the flash time kung fu, Kakarot would never be so miserable. Did he launch countless attacks at that moment? In the picture, No 17's eyes were full of solemnity, and number 18 on the side even said that he didn't see Ji Lian move. Facing the cheers and encouragement from Krillin and others, Beerus's face was extremely gloomy. He pinched his nose with one hand and kept trembling. Cold sweat continued to flow down. It's useless. What Goku is using now is 20 times Kaio Fist. In response to this, the strong men from all major dimensions couldn't help but froze in place. Since they couldn't feel Kakarot's aura, they just thought that Kakarot was using an ordinary Kai King boxing. However, now Beerus said that Kakarot guy used the 20 times Kaio Fist. If this is really the case, then there is no suspense about this battle. This is really troublesome. Even the blue 20-fold Kaioken can't cause you any damage. In the battlefield, Wukong looked at Jiren in front of him and couldn't help but smile bitterly. Then he returned to normal in the eyes of everyone in surprise, and then slowly said, I already know how powerful you are, so let me show you my special move. As the voice fell, Wukong's footsteps suddenly moved, and his figure jumped to a mountain not far away, and then suddenly raised his hands. Disaster, could it be that Dad wants to use that trick? Looking at Goku's movements, Gohan's eyes narrowed and he couldn't help but exclaimed. It's a vitality bomb. In the audience, Klin's face was full of excitement, and he shouted out the thought in the hearts of everyone in the world. As for why it returned to normal, the reason is that the Super Saiyan state will be mixed with evil spirits, and there is no way collect vitality so Wukong can return to normal. Please share your energy with me, please. In the picture, Wukong raised his hands high, and the sound that resounded in the sky quickly spread throughout the arena, and even to all the worlds. Use my breath. Count me in. Our energy is also given to you. Use it all. Oh, he, is that the trick? I have only bitter memories of this. Okay, take it and use it, use my Frisia's breath. On the ring, Gohan, Piccolo, number 17, number 18 and even Frisia all contributed their auras to Goku, but the arrogant Prince Vegeta did not contribute. Buzz. Then, white aura continued to gather on Wukong's head, and a round sky blue pure energy bomb continued to condense on his head, and became bigger and bigger. Everyone, I'm sorry. With a shout, Wukong's voice spread throughout the ring, and then his face couldn't help but look a little ugly. It's not enough, it takes too long to gather the breath. I can wait for you, to read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Under Goku's surprised gaze, Jiren continued expressionlessly, I told you to wait for you, this is a special move for you, right? Use all your strength. He, you are quite generous. In response, a smile appeared on Wukong's face. Accepting the opponent's biggest attack and then hitting him hard with a power that is far superior to the opponent. This is Jiren's style. I'm really looking forward to it. In the audience, the god of destruction from Universe 11 couldn't help but sneered. Wukong. Our breath is also for you to use. Take away all my breath. In the audience, Krillin, Tianjin Fan, and Kame Sennin also stretched out their hands and passed their breath to Wukong. The god of destruction, Angel, Great Priest, Quan Wang, and others present, as well as all the heavens and worlds in everyone's eyes, the vitality bomb on Wukong's head is getting bigger and bigger. Sky blue light shines on the entire sky. The vitality bomb bursts out like a star with blazing light, making people feel extremely pure and flawless. Of course, this is just for good people. If it is bad people, it is a pain. Here it comes. In the picture, Goku yelled, then turned his eyes to Jiren and said, Jiren, don't regret giving me time to prepare. Boom. As Wukong's voice fell, the vitality bullet with a diameter of several thousand meters immediately followed his movements and blasted towards Jiren. The atmosphere was continuously blown away at this moment. The strong wind like a storm continued, the breeze blew in the hearts of everyone present, and the sky blue vitality bullets wrapped with pure power fell towards Jillian with infinite power and oppression. This is the vitality bomb of our 7th universe. Facing Wukong's roar and the huge energy bomb in front of him, Jiren's expression remained extremely calm, and even his eyes did not show the slightest wave, letting the countless gravel around him continue to blow around him. He remained unmoved. As this vitality bomb, which carried the hope of countless people in the world and everyone in the 7th universe in the picture, continued to blast towards Jiren. Finally, just when the huge energy bomb was about to fall in front of him, his eyes suddenly condensed, and then he slowly stretched out his left hand. Boom 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 boom. As the two collided, waves of terrifying winds swept out, and countless rubbles continued to turn into dust. The sky blue, Ma Zhao's, pure energy bullet that fell towards Jiren hit Wukong. He was slowly lifted up with incredulous eyes, and then kept pushing towards Goku, and Jiren's calm expression was also reflected in everyone's eyes. Impossible. Looking at the huge sky blue energy bombs that were constantly being pushed back, Wukong's face was filled with shock. Then his aura suddenly gathered, and power continued to flow towards the vitality bombs in front of him. Look at me. Boom. Sky blue flames suddenly exploded around Wukong, and the powerful breath of God suddenly blessed the vitality bullets, resisting the vitality bullets that were constantly pushed back, and fell into a stalemate. However, as Jiren's right hand also pushed forward, the entire huge vitality bomb slowly moved towards Wukong again. 10 times the Kaio fist. Boom. As the red and blue flames suddenly exploded, Wukong's aura suddenly surged again, suddenly supporting the energy bomb in front of him. 20 times the Kaio fist is coming. As Wukong roared again, the unparalleled powerful aura suddenly rose again, and the terrifying power caused the energy bombs to continuously fly towards Jiren. Ha! As Jiren roared, the huge energy bomb suddenly flew back and hit Wukong's body, almost sucking Wukong into it. Boom 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 boom. As waves of terrifying fluctuations continued to spread, the huge vitality bombs continued to be pushed back and forth in mid-air, falling into a stalemate. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 220. What a strong energy, extremely powerful. The high-strength martial arts of the two cannot be achieved by ordinary practice, especially Jiren, whose aura can be controlled with just a glance, and you can feel the power from above him. Looking at the two people who were in a stalemate, the god of destruction and Kaishin in the audience couldn't help but admire the strength of both sides. For this, most of the strong men in the major dimensions also felt incomparable agreement, but some people can't help but be curious about Jiren's experience. You know, they basically know everything about Kakarot's experiences along the way. But they don't know anything about Jiren. It's hard to imagine what kind of experience and terrifying talent it was that could make Jiren so powerful. Even Kakarot, who was able to fight with all his strength just by looking at him, was in a stalemate. In the picture, invisible waves of fluctuations are constantly coming out, two terrifying auras are constantly colliding in the atmosphere, terrifying power is constantly pouring into the huge vitality bomb, and a terrifying sense of oppression is constantly spreading out. Cover the entire arena. Goku is already beyond the limit, but Jiren is far from using his true abilities. Looking at Wukong in the sky, who was constantly exerting all his strength, the Angel Y slowly continued. His strength is different from any of Wukong's previous opponents. If we must compare, it is the god of destruction. Jiren has reached this level, or maybe he is already ahead of the god of destruction. It is said that humans in a certain universe even surpass the god of destruction, so it seems true. After hearing Weiss's words, the entire world fell into deathly silence. Countless spectators felt as if their brains were struck by lightning. Their bodies and souls were trembling, as if they were sitting on pins and needles. Put it up. Jiren, this guy, as a human being, he is actually able to overpower the god of destruction. How can this be? 693. Well done, show the universe your power, Jiren. At this moment, not only the clown god of destruction in the picture, but also the god of destruction of the 11th universe who was watching the picture whispered. As the dazzling light continued to shine on the entire Wu realm, the terrifying energy was intertwined. The vitality bomb continued to expand, almost reaching the critical point. Boom 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 boom. As the violent explosion sounded, the entire energy bomb was like a black vacuum black hole, continuously spreading invisible fluctuations, as if it was distorting the entire space, shrouding Wukong, who fell due to fatigue. Boom. As the dazzling white light exploded instantly, the entire arena was instantly swept away by the terrifying aftermath. Countless mountain rocks turned into boundless dust, and most of the players were involved. Wukong. Looking at this scene, the faces of the warriors of Universe 7 and the god of destruction Beerus were filled with disbelief. Not only the warriors of the 7th universe couldn't imagine it, but also the countless powerful people in the heavens and worlds found it unbelievable. This is the first time ever Kakarot's energy bomb was pushed back by his opponent. Was that Kakarot just defeated by Jiren and killed by his own energy bomb? You win, Jiren. Looking at Jiren's figure in the screen, Toppo couldn't help but murmur to himself. As Toppo's voice fell, a huge crater with a length of several kilometers appeared in front of everyone's eyes, and the blue thunder, the light continued to fill it, and countless white lights fell from the sky. Isn't it over? Could it be that he lost? No, impossible. Since it hasn't been blown up here, it means it hasn't left the boundary yet. But I can't feel his breath anywhere in the arena. Suffering an explosion with such huge energy at close range, it is possible that it has disappeared. Disappear, in other words, he is dead. At this moment, the king of all, god of destruction, Kaishin, and others in the audience were talking a lot. Since Gaku died due to his own attack, Jiren is not considered a violation and will be regarded as a self-destruction. Wukong, is Gaku really dead? At this moment, everyone present looked at the location where the energy bomb exploded. At this moment, no one could feel Wukong's breath. And just as King Quan stretched his fingers to the tablet in his hand, when Wukong's avatar is about to be pressed. At the same time, Beerus in the audience was trembling all over, his face was full of disbelief, and his voice was slightly trembling. Is this really the end of you? Wukong. Son Wukong. But in the next second, boom. At this moment, the entire arena, even the entire Wushija and the screen began to shake violently. Countless gravels were attracted into the air by a powerful force, and a powerful energy continued to spread throughout the Wushija boundary. What is this? Could it be? At this moment, the same thought emerged in the hearts of the warriors of the seventh universe, and even countless beings in the entire universe. That man, to read exciting novels, go to Feel a Novel Network. Kakarot is not dead. Coming. As Beerus's excited voice fell in the picture, a dazzling white light burst out from the huge pit in an instant, instantly penetrating the entire starry sky of Wuja. In the sound of sacred and majestic music, countless rubbles continued to rise into the sky, under the gaze of everyone in the world. In the area shrouded in white light, a black figure slowly stood up. Bathed in the holy light and the sacred and majestic music, Wukong's body stood up again. After being swallowed by the energy bomb. Not only is Wukong not dead, but the aura on his body has become extremely sacred and powerful. Even Jiren can't help but take a few steps forward, staring at Wukong in the light and shadow with his eyes. Boom! As the white light dissipated, Wukong's body seemed to be enveloped by a holy white light. Even his hair and eyes were dyed, with a layer of white light and shadow, and the entire area around him was covered in holy white light. Constantly twisting under the white light, his eyes were filled with unprecedented determination. A lot of hot air came out of his body, and Wukong's powerful aura made the people around him and even countless beings in the world feel scared. The white holy light shone everywhere. Even me, this is also the first time I've seen Wukong like this. At this time, even Weiss' eyes showed a hint of surprise. Tap tap tap. Looking at Jiren in the distance, Gaku stepped in his direction. However, I saw a dazzling sacred white light flashing through. Gaku's body suddenly appeared in front of Jiren, and he blasted towards Jiren with his right foot. Facing an attack that even countless people present and even countless strong men from all dimensions could not react to, Jiren's body suddenly shrank before Gaku's attack arrived, and avoided the attack. Under everyone's surprised gaze, Wukong passed Jiren's side, and then his body twisted to an extremely unnatural degree. The entire body suddenly rolled back in mid-air, ignoring the laws of physics. As a burst of passionate music suddenly sounded, the fists of Gaku and Jiren suddenly collided together, invisible ripples spread out, and the two collided fiercely again. Just a moment, countless strong men in all the worlds, and even all the warriors, Kaishin, and gods of destruction in the Dragon Ball world showed expressions of disbelief. Even Jiren's eyes suddenly bloomed at this moment as he watched the scene. Shined brightly. That is, the ultimate freedom of mind, in the seventh universe's god of destruction. Weiss's eyes flashed with surprise. In the picture, after a brief collision, Wukong couldn't help but look at his palms and body, feeling the distant and continuous waves in his body. The power and the divine light that surrounds itself. At this moment, he was like a true god, feeling extremely confident. While everyone present was shocked and wondering what happened to Kakarot, Tispo and Toppo of the Pride team also jumped from a high place and rushed towards Gaku. Aren't you going to admit defeat yet? Sun Wukong. You have lost. Looking at the two people rushing towards him, Wukong slowly raised his hands, and countless after-images appeared in the air, catching the two people who were attacking, and then flicked his arms, instantly killing them. Topper and Tipper thrown away. This is no small matter. Ultra-fast response, precise movements. In the audience, came Senin, and others couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise, sighing at how powerful Wukong was at this moment. You know, those are Tispo and Toppo. One is the guy who once put Hit at a disadvantage, and the other is Toppo who is on par with the Super Blue Kaioken form. Accompanied by exciting and passionate music. Asshole, justice shines. On the battlefield, Toppo's palm suddenly blasted out countless red flashes, carrying infinite power and instantly blasting towards Wukong's direction. However, facing Toppo's attack, Wukong didn't pay any attention and walked straight towards Jiren's direction. The countless red flashes were like eyes, and they kept deliberately avoiding Wukong's body. She couldn't even touch him. Raising his hand to stop Toppo's behavior, Jiren looked at Gaku who kept walking in front of him, and he couldn't help but feel a strong fighting spirit in his heart. Sun Wukong. As Wukong stepped forward, his body instantly appeared in front of Jiren like a white light, and a red light flashed in Jiren's eyes, and his fists unleashed an overwhelming offensive. And kept blasting towards Wukong's body. However, facing Jiren's overwhelming fist shadow, Wukong's body kept dodging his attacks in mid-air. After catching Jiren's flaw, Wukong's fists and feet kept colliding with him like a violent storm. Boom 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 boom. Countless fist shadows collided in mid-air like an overwhelming force. Invisible ripples continued to spread out. The entire space began to become distorted. From a distance, only a void could be seen, and the two of them could not be seen at all. Actions. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 221. At this moment, everyone present and even most of the powerful people in the world could not see their movements clearly, but they could see Jiren's footsteps constantly retreating. What level of battle is this? We can't even see clearly through the screen. In the Demon Slayer world, the pillar-level experts couldn't help but be stunned when they looked at the scene in front of them. You know, they had never been in this situation before, but now that the screen can be slowed down, they can't even move. I can't see clearly how huge the gap is. God, the realm of gods, these two people have entered the realm of the god of destruction. In the Shinigami world, Aizen's face was extremely crazy, his eyes were wide and round, and the expression on his face was extremely shocked. Even his whole body was shaking violently at this moment. It was unbelievable. The battle between the two of them could actually be so intense. Even the previous battle between Super Saiyan God Goku and Beerus was far less intense than their current battle. Oh my god, what a terrifying combat power this is. Even if all our S-class heroes come together, we probably won't be able to resist them. One Punch. In the world of One Punch Man, the S-class heroes in the Hero Association were stunned on the spot, their eyes and mouths opened extremely wide, and even Xiao Tatsumaki collapsed on the chair at this moment, and his whole body could not help but twitch. 2. It's so powerful. This is a level that I will never be able to touch in my life. Such terrifying strength is simply out of reach. Located at home, Saitama's face was full of shock, and his body collapsed to the ground weakly. What a great power this is. Even if I burn my whole life, I still can't reach 1/1000th of theirs. Located in the depths of the universe, Boros's one eye is constantly shedding scarlet blood, and the expression on his face is extremely complicated. Is this really a realm that humans can reach? What is Kakarote's state like? In the world of Naruto, Naruto's face is full of disbelief, and his heart is full of doubts. Kakarot in this form is obviously just normal, why is his strength soaring so horribly like a rocket? The strength of these two people has reached the level of the great emperor. How is it possible that these two mortals can actually reach such a height, in the restricted area of life? All the ancient supremes couldn't help but exclaimed at this moment. It's okay if Jiraiya reaches it, but what is the situation with Kakarot? Although his super blue form is superimposed with 20 times the power of Kyo Fist, it is indeed infinitely close to the level of the great emperor. However, why was he not harmed after enduring the aftermath of the vitality bomb, but his strength was greatly improved? What on earth is the white holy light around him? Interestingly, even I don't know what kind of technique this is, in the perfect world, and Ian's eyes were filled with a little surprise. Not only in Lan, but almost all the immortal king-level experts turned their attention to Kakarot, feeling a little surprised in their hearts. After all, this white holy light, and the silent and terrifying aura of Kakarot really surprised them. You know, when strong men fight, the energy in their bodies will run wildly, but this Kakarot carrot actually did the opposite. The aura in his body was extremely silent, just like a long stream of water, without the slightest fluctuation. Since this is the ultimate freedom of mind power, in the world of Dragon Ball, Beerus had a glimmer of light in his eyes and couldn't help but exclaimed. Unbelievable! The Saiyan named Sun Wukong actually reached this level and realized the ultimate freedom of mind. You know, even he has not completely mastered the first level of the ultimate intention Kung Fu, but this guy Wukong's ultimate intention Kung Fu actually gives him the feeling that it is more advanced than him. Now, maybe Goku can really compete with Jiren. Besides, Y's surprised voice slowly came out. What happened to that Saiyan monkey? Why does he get stronger every time? This is impossible. Located in the depths of the universe, Frisia's face was full of anger and he kept roaring. In this state, even if he is in the form of Golden Frisia in the future, there is no way to defeat Sun Wukong, and he may even be singled out. He was hung up and beaten, so how could he take revenge? This guy Wukong can surprise people every time. On Earth, a smile appeared on the faces of Klin and others. Future me, what exactly has changed? Could it be said that I absorbed the energy of the vitality bomb? On the northern Kaiwang, Goku's face is full of doubts. It seems that future Trunks has absorbed something similar to vitality before, and now he in the picture has also absorbed the energy of the vitality bullet. Could it be said that vitality the bullets are not used to destroy the enemy, but to be used on yourself? Hateful, why is this guy Kakarot able to surpass me every time and reach a level that I haven't been able to reach? In the spaceship, Vegeta's face was full of anger, and he kept hammering the seat with his fists. The scene continued to play, and the two bodies moved from the ground to mid-air, and countless invisible ripples continued in the void. Spreading out, in less than a moment, the two collided thousands of times, and even the entire Wuzhija trembled. Although no one in the ring could see the actions of the two people, but they knew clearly in their hearts at this moment that the Saiyan named Sun Wukong surpassed the original disparity in strength in an instant, and at this moment, Wukong is still evolving while fighting, and is getting stronger with every collision. Bang 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 bang. Gradually, facing Goku, who has entered the state of free ultimate willpower and becomes stronger and stronger, Jiren's strength is getting stronger and stronger. The battle between the two is no longer just an area, but the entire ring. In front of them, the players on the stage had no intention of fighting for a long time. They were all doing the same thing together, which was to watch the battle between the two of them. It's unbelievable that someone can press Jiren every step of the way. In the audience of Universe 11, a drop of cold sweat fell from Kaishin's forehead, and the expression on his face was full of disbelief. Impossible, this shouldn't happen. Besides, the god of destruction grabbed his hair anxiously, feeling extremely impatient in his heart. Wukong suddenly became so powerful. What happened? Looking at the battle between the two, The faces of the two kings were equally full of excitement, and they uttered doubts. At this moment, the god of destruction Beerus could not help but shed a few drops of cold sweat on his face, and said with extreme disbelief. Those words came out. The ultimate freedom of mind. Buzz. Hearing this, Xiongpa's eyes suddenly widened, his mouth opened extremely wide, and the expression on his face was extremely horrified. Not only Xiongpa, but also the Kaishin and destroyers from other universes. The faces of the gods are also full of horror, really. Wukong's movements are indeed very similar. But as a human, Sun Wukong he has actually reached a state that is difficult for even gods to reach. Not only the people in the picture, but also the Kaishin and the god of destruction who were watching the picture felt extremely horrified and unbelievable. The ultimate freedom of mind. That is a power that even the gods of destruction cannot master. Even Beerus has only understood a little bit, that human from the seventh universe, it has actually reached a state that is difficult for the gods to reach. And many powerful people in all the worlds couldn't help but feel extremely confused when they heard Beerus talking about the ultimate intention Kung Fu. The ultimate freedom of mind? What is that thing that even God has trouble grasping? And Weiss has mentioned it several times before. Looking at the horrified expressions of these gods of destruction, it seems like they are something extremely extraordinary. I never thought something like this would happen, Lord Beerus. In the picture, Weiss looked at Beerus on the side and couldn't help but chuckle. Beerus on the side couldn't help but folded his arms and sat down with an unhappy expression. He felt extremely depressed in his heart. That guy Gaku, why are you, suddenly? It may be caused by the vitality bomb. At present, Wukong's body is exhausted. The vitality bullet is only used as a temporary driving force. The energy of the vitality bullet does help him. However, the most important thing is not this. In the doubtful eyes of everyone, Weiss stood up slowly, looked at the two people fighting fiercely in mid-air and continued. In the big explosion just now, the energy of the vitality bullet that rushed into Wukong's body collided with Wukong's own power that resisted, allowing Wukong to successfully break through the shell of potential. So far so good, but what will happen with this searing heat? The scene returned to the battlefield. The two people were still violently colliding. The aftermath was getting stronger every time. Blue thunder and lightning continued to shoot out from the center of the collision between the two people. Golden light and holy white light continued to flow. Were reflected in mid-air, and the entire arena was constantly falling apart under the aftermath of the battle between the two of them. So tonic of roars, and with Jiren's unbelievable blows, his knees fell apart. His eyes suddenly hit his abdomen, and then he struck hard with a blue wave of light that sent him flying away. With the force of the Qigong wave, Wukong's body landed on the huge stone pillar, and then his legs flew out. Kick, and once again hit Jiren on the ground. The unparalleled power wrapped around his right fist and fell towards Jiren. Boom! As a violent explosion sounded, thick smoke swept the two of them. The collision heart slowly rose, and a powerful wave spread out from it, making the entire arena tremble. Xians, that's so interesting, but... At the same time, Jiren's voice slowly spread throughout the world, and then a shocking scene appeared. As the smoke slowly dissipated, Jiren, surrounded by red aura, caught Gaku's full blow with one hand while he was in the state of free ultimate intention Kung Fu. Not even his body moved at all, and even Gaku's the holy light on my body actually slowly faded away. If this kind of burning heat is your limit, then you can do no more than that.